You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
This was the aftermath of Over the Limit, which I didn't order, but people seem to enjoy, specifically the Bryan Danielson CM Punk match.
Oh my God! So, you, if for any reason to watch this pay-per-view, this right here was it. This may be a match of the year candidate. You know, I shouldn't say maybe. It is a match of the year candidate. It may be the match of the year so far in WWE. You know what's ridiculous? What's absolutely ridiculous is that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan have busted their asses for 5 straight months, and neither one of them can get a main event pay-per-view. What does a guy got to do to legitimize the WWE television? Jesus Christ! I'm now reflecting Cody Rhodes from last night.
you essentially have to be John Cena to be put into the last position on the show.
I mean,
and,
what do they have to do to re-legitimize the WWE Championship here at this point? Other than
belt
suck
on
John Cena,
that's what you have to do at this point. If John Cena is your top guy, John Cena is the most important figure on the show. Put the title on him.
You know, but how much more are we going to say it's a bad television show? Are we just going to keep chanting this mantra until everybody starts believing it? Raw is a bad television show.
Well, let's get into why the show was particularly frustrating. Raw began with John Cena in the ring. He voices frustration over, I guess this is frustration, over John Laurinaitis. Not so much John Laurinaitis beating him, but the fact that Big Show turned on him. John Laurinaitis came out looking ridiculous as ever. He was in a motor scooter. The best part about this segment was
he was in a rascal.
Because Eve was stunning tonight, and I've gone, I believe on the record in saying that at one point I didn't even find Eve attractive, but since she has become this heel administrative assistant, she is quite attractive. And she came out, John Laurinaitis came out, Big Show came out. Essentially, Big Show, explain this one to me, Cap. Big Show was hired Saturday night to a lucrative contract. After recap of Big Show being fired, embarrassed in the middle of the ring. And he was hired back Saturday night. I mean, Cap, explain that to me. He was hired Saturday night to a lucrative contract, but I thought the stipulation was no contract to WWE wrestler could interfere in the match.
But that's where the devil comes into the details here. Michael Cole revealed some exclusive insider information during the broadcast tonight because one Gerald the King Lawler, Esquire, brought this up. And Mr. Michael Cole says that he found out that it was just a verbal agreement between Laurinaitis and the Big Show, and that the actual contract was not signed until the wee hours of Sunday morning, well after the end of the pay-per-view. That's a quote.
I mean, seriously, Kev, you missed the fact that Punk gave Alex Riley $50 to pull the ruse on Jericho during the last 3-hour Raw, but you caught that aspect?
It was mind-shocking, and surprisingly enough, my mind was not numbed enough yet to actually turn this show out.
Dagdog on the chat room, AngryMarks.com /chat. You can live chat during the show every Monday. Dagdog said, "You mean Monday morning that Big Show signed the contract?"
Yeah, Monday morning.
I mean, whatever. I mean, okay, so Big Show was not a actual contract. Then why didn't they just say Big Show did it on his own accord, and then John Laurinaitis signed him right after? I mean...
Well, you know, I mean, I'm kind of surprised they went with this. I mean, if it had been me writing this, here's how I would have wrote it. Laurinaitis goes to run backstage. Big Show just happens to be hanging around, catches him, drags him back into the ring. And at that 1 second where Big Show's getting ready to shove Laurinaitis into Cena, you see Laurinaitis talking to him. That's where I figured the deal was struck right there. But apparently not. Apparently they had actually set this up hours before, which also kind of makes sense because if you notice during the show several times, Laurinaitis tries to take a specific path out of the arena every time. He leaves the announcer's desk right on the right-hand side, right next to the Spanish announcer's table. That section right there, he kept trying to run to several times, so he knew where he was going. I think he was trying to lure Cena in that direction so Big Show could clobber him then.
But no, we had Big Show walk down to the middle of the ring, act like he was going to beat up John Laurinaitis just to turn on John Cena.
Which is absolutely fine. Because you know what? Last week I was bitching after the humiliating firing of Big Show. How am I ever going to take this guy seriously as a badass character again? And now I can. He managed to. WWE managed to find a way to do it. I got to give the writers credit here. They turned me around on a Big Show in a week after they already turned me around on Big Show.